All right, so today's message is I have encamped an angel around you. So God is saying that He has assigned an angel around you. And sometimes God assigns those that love us that are no longer on this earth. Imagine, like my grandma, I miss her. But she can be my angel, to protect me, to fight for me. To be there to tell me which way to go, and even still to this day, the things that she have told me, I still hear, and I believe that she is beside me and she is telling me, what she had told me, and then I remember it. So I thank God for that. Psalms 34:7, the angel of the Lord encamps around about them that fear him, we that fear God, and delivers them. So they deliver us. Verse 8, oh, taste and see the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. Psalms 91:11, for he will give his angels charge concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. So we know that, God will direct our paths, and there are things that God is fighting, while we're there. That's why it says the battle is not yours. And imagine it's an army of angels just with you. The devil can't do anything. Psalm 139:5, you have enclosed me behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Daniel 6:22, my God sent his angel and shut the lion's mouth, and they have not harmed me. And as much as I was found innocent before him, and also towards you, O King, I have committed no crime. So, and sometimes God has shut in the lions that are people around you, even your boss or whatever, whoever, those lions that have the lion mouth, or anything like that. Hebrews 12:6, for the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastises everyone he receives as a son. Verse 7, endure sufferings as a disciple. God is treating you as sons, for what son is not disciplined by his father? So one thing I've definitely been whipped by God, and it's not a good feeling, but it was definitely needed, but I had to learn, being a disciple, which we all are, saying that you're going to live for God, he'll show you, I look at it every day and I'm like, Lord, how do I get better? What can I do better? And he showed me, there's many things I needed to learn before, God gives me a church to pastor. Before God elevates me, there's things that I needed to learn, and I thank God for his discipline. Reason being is because he loved me. And I think that a lot of times, we give the devil too much credit, just imagine we know that he goes around roaring like a lion, trying to, devour, whom he seeks, sift us as wheat, and then all of a sudden, we're giving the devil credit when it's God. Think about it. The devil doesn't need to bother anybody that he already has, and especially if God is disciplining one of us and we say, oh, it's the devil bothering me or whatever like that, the devil don't need to send nobody to bother you, because you already gave him credit where he didn't deserve it, so he don't need to. But we'll get more than that in a second. Deuteronomy 8:5, thus you are to know in your heart that the Lord your God was disciplining you, just as a man disciplines his son. Proverbs 3:11, my son, do not reject the discipline of the Lord, or loathe his reproof. Verse 12, for when the Lord loves, he reproves, even as a father corrects the son in whom he delights. So God knows the perfect discipline, and me as a parent, not always knowing the perfect discipline, or even our parents or our family friends, but God is perfect. Revelations 3:19, those I love I rebuke and discipline, therefore be earnest and repent. So imagine again, God is saying he is encamping an angel around you, or has charge of angels for you, that are with you everywhere you go. They'll guide your paths. Job 1:10, it's just when the devil was talking to Jesus, and we've all had that feeling like Job, part in our life. Some of you are maybe going through that now, as I am. But again, I'm going to give God all the glory, because I know what happens in the end. Have you not heard, have you not made a hedge of protection about him and his house and all that he has, one on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. So we know that, yeah, the devil can try to bother us, but again, he has to get permission. And if God does grant him permission, that's because he has a job to do, and that's designed to bring us closer to God, and also to execute God's plan. Just like we look in the story of Job when he was bothering Job. So we know and we understand that it's still gonna work out to his glory, because like I said in the story of Job, when God allowed the devil to bother him, Job got double for his trouble. And had the devil would have known that, he probably wouldn't have did that. But again, God showed me too, sometimes that the devil comes to him and asks, hey, can I bother this person? And they be like, I got 100 things I want to do, and God like, you can only do these 3. And they'll be like, but I want to do 100. Listen, either you do these 3 or you don't do nothing. But again, it's still used to execute God's plan. And see, even in when God separates people from your life, you know what I'm saying? Because the devil will use who's ever available. If you're available, the devil will use you, And that's why in dark times in our life, or tough times in our life, we know who's really on our side. And I hear a lot of people, they say, you know what? These people were never friends. Yes, they were. I mean, let's just be real. There are some people that, are only wanting you because of what you can do for them or anything like that. But then there are people that a person can grow to be jealous of a person. So in the beginning, they could have had a great, relationship. And then after, it just ended up being, that they just grown to be jealous of you, or bitterness. And that's why we supposed to, kill the flesh every day, and some people don't. And you see that, it's hard because some people, they don't do that and they don't know, and some people you just have to love them from a distance. Or I seen a post, like you feed somebody from a long handle spoon, but the thing is, it's just, it's a replaying this song, but it's just, understanding that, what God is saying in a tough time in your life, that when you do that, there are going to be some people like that, and their time may be up, just like recently, I had to, remove some people, but, I thank God for discernment, and God will replace other people, and not saying that they're bad people, but sometimes people's seasons are up in your life, and that's the thing. You don't ever want to keep somebody long in your life than what they're supposed to. Excuse me. No, but again, that's just what God is saying today. Again, he said he's encamped an angel around you. So just wanted to say, give you encouragement. Know that God is with you. God bless. Love you. And he has the angel around you.